This one Faceless YouTube channel made me almost $4,000 in one single month. Now, just so you can believe me, I will even go ahead and reload this exact page. As we can see here, still $4,000 or almost $4,000. And then I can also go ahead for you and I can change the currency. I know so many of you guys want me to do this always, but here we can see now I all of a sudden made $26,000. But let me actually go back to here, US dollars, and here we can see this channel made me $3,900. And in this video, I'm going to show you guys exactly how I did it. Now, before that, for the people who don't know me, I'm Stefan, 23 years old, and currently make between $30,000 and $40,000 a month with my own Faceless YouTube channels and constantly starting new ones. Then I've made $42,000 with 2 videos I posted. So here $30,000 and $12,000, and I've scaled the channel from literally $0 to $48,000 in just 30 days, as we can see right here. And then, I've helped hundreds of other people do the exact same thing. So I'm not special. Nobody of these people are special. We've been all able to do it just because we followed the exact right strategy. Like, for example, Martin's, we've scaled up to $31,000 in one single month. Then here's student $12,000 in one single month. Here's student $4,000 in one single month. Here's student $1,000 in one single month. Here's student $18,000 in a single month, and $5,000 in a single month, and $8,000 in a single month. Now, if you are interested in getting the exact same results, check out the first link in the video description, book a completely free call with me, and we'll have a look how we can scale up your YouTube channel as well. Now, with that being said, I would say let's get into the video. It took me quite a while to prepare this video for you guys, but let's talk about the first few steps first, and then we'll go deeper into each and every single step. So the first thing we have to do is to pick a niche. So the category we are actually going to end up posting videos in. Then we need video topics. Then we need freelancers and AI to create us the video. Then we're going to post the video to YouTube, and YouTube is going to pay us for the views. Okay, so I would say let's get right into it with the first step, and that is choosing a niche. Now, choosing a niche is one of the most important things when it comes to running a Faceless YouTube channel, and the biggest reason why some people win with YouTube and some people fail is simply because of the niche. Now, something you guys have to keep in mind that YouTube has supply and demand. And this is probably the most important part when it comes to YouTube automation, is seeing YouTube as a marketplace. All right. YouTube is a marketplace. And just like any other market, YouTube has supply and YouTube has demand. Now, what does that actually mean? So, demand is what the audience actually wants to watch, and supply is how much content is there already. And what we as Faceless YouTubers do is we need to find a gap between these two. Now, what normal YouTubers do is they take years to build their personal brands. They spend years building a connection to their audience, and it takes a lot of hard work and a lot of time to build demand around them. Now, luckily with YouTube automation, we skip this whole process. We don't need to do all of this. We simply go ahead and we look for a topic or a niche that has demand but no supply. All right, as I've just explained, we're looking for a gap between these two, and that's where we create content. Now, how does a gap between these two actually look like? So I have a few characteristics that, we always kind of look at when we are choosing a niche. Number one is that there are under 5 smaller channels creating content in that niche that are constantly getting more views than they have subscribers. This means there is high demand and low supply, which again is one of the most important things when it comes to YouTube automation. Then there are no channels with over 100,000 subscribers. You will have an insanely difficult time to compete against any channels that, in your niche that have over 100,000 subscribers. Simply because YouTube already trusts those accounts. YouTube already knows, hey, the audience likes their videos. So they're always going to push out their content over yours, right? That's why you're looking for small channels that are getting a lot of views. Then there are no channels failing in your niche. If there are a bunch of channels failing, why should you win? All right. The niche is not older than 6 months. Very important. I can create better content than my competitors. This can also just be longer content. Then Am I actually interested in this niche? This is not a must as long as you build a team that actually has interest in that specific niche. Is the niche monetizable? Super important. Otherwise, you are not going to make any money. Then a huge bonus if you can post long videos in that niche, because if you can post long videos, you can place more ads and your RPM is automatically going to be higher. That means you make more money. Now, very important, it does like the whole like this does not need to be 1000% perfect with all niches you find. It is very rare that you find something that is 100,000,000% perfect. Now if you do, that's where something like this happens. All right, and that happens like maybe once or twice a year. All right, so yes, now tools I would highly recommend for niche research are here. NextLev, amazing tool for niche research. It's 13 euros a month. I'll link it in the video description with a discount code and everything. Then vidIQ is also good. The free plan is enough. Now, how are we actually going to use these accounts? So we're going to use these tools here with a dummy account. All right. Now, a dummy account is basically an account that we only use to do niche research. Now, the YouTube homepage changed for our advantage, and YouTube got extremely good at predicting what we want to watch. And we can use this to our advantage to train the YouTube algorithm to only show us faceless niches on our YouTube home tab. Now, instead of me explaining all of this, let me show you exactly how you can do this, because once your dummy account is set up, you can find unlimited amounts of niches with it. All right. This here is my dummy account, and as we can see, this is a faceless niche. This is a faceless niche. Faceless. Like you can see that my YouTube homepage basically just consists out of faceless niches. All right. Now, how do you build an account like this? So you first go to an incognito window exactly like this. And then you come to your YouTube home tab or to your search bar. Like just imagine that you are actually signed into an account like I am here, right? That's something you have to do. Now, once you are signed in, your YouTube homepage will look exactly like this one. Then you're going to look up anything you are interested in. Like for example, the biggest houses, just as an example, no joke, anything you're interested in. You keep your cursor on the video and you make sure that this is a faceless video. If you see it is a faceless video, then you actually go ahead and you click on that video, and you go ahead and you subscribe to this channel. You like this video, you literally go ahead and you show YouTube like, hey, I am interested in this kind of content. Then you just keep on going here on the sidebar. You keep on clicking on faceless videos the whole time, like for quite a while. Like I always say, like 15 minutes to a half an hour. You just keep on repeating the exact process that you did in the beginning. You subscribe to the channels, you like the videos. Then after you've done that, you actually go back to your YouTube homepage and you click on a few more videos that are inside whatever you are interested in. And you will see that YouTube will more and more start showing you channels that are actually in your niche that you are actually interested in. And that's exactly where your YouTube homepage starts looking exactly like this one. Now, where NextLev actually comes into play is when you want to filter your YouTube homepage. So you can actually do that with NextLev. So we can filter this down, the subscribers down. Now, YouTube is only going to, or this filter is only going to show me channels that have under 18,000 subscribers. So as we can see here, here's a channel that's doing well. Here's another channel that's doing very well. And this channel here, I don't know, just as an example, it's doing super, super well. What you can then also do with NextLev is you can actually see the RPM of the RPMs of these channels. So you can click on analytics just like I did there. And then you click on RPM, and if this loads up, what the RPM of this channel is, and you can go into this niche if the RPM is high enough for you. Okay, I don't know if this channel is monetized yet, but we will see. Now, while this is loading, guys, keep in mind, if you want my help, because we actually do all of this with you guys, we do everything, like especially the niche research and all of these things, one-on-one with our students. If you need any help with that, then check out the first link in the video description and book a completely free call with me. So here we can see $4 RPM, and now you have to decide, like, would $400 a month be enough for me or not? Now you know how to use a dummy account. Now what we also like to do is we also like to create new niches using the niche transfer method. Now, instead of blindly copying something everyone is doing, we use the niche transfer method to literally 1000x our results. This is essentially taking proven concepts and moving them to different markets on YouTube. This can be anything. The title, the thumbnail style, the video style, anything that is currently working. No joke, anything that's working, okay? Here are a few examples. So, for example, this medieval channel is posting videos about how medieval people lived back in the days and, worked very, very well. And we got this channel here that now does the exact same kind of content like this one, just for cavemen. This one is doing the exact same kind of content just for pirates. This one is doing the exact same kind of content just for homeless people. All right. So the niche transfer method is one of the most powerful ways to create brand new niches. Okay. I would highly recommend you guys to start thinking outside the box. If you find something that works on YouTube, use the niche transfer method. And if you do something like this, you have something completely new. You don't have to worry about competitors. You obviously just have to make sure that there is actually demand for this. All right. Now we know how to choose a niche. Now the next thing we have to do is, we have to select video topics. Now, supply and demand is not just important in the niche you choose, but also in the video topics you choose. Now, how do you find demand? You look for recent outlier videos on competitor channels. You look for recent trending formats. And very important is that you don't just go ahead and copy most popular videos from your competitors, because this is what everyone does. And I can promise you, if you do this too, your channel will fail 1,000,000%. And I'll explain it to you in the supply tab. All right. Now, how do you find supply? You use your YouTube search bar and you look for how many people have created the exact same video. If it's been done more than 3 times and you don't have a different angle to that specific video, you go ahead and you look for a different topic. Then it's a must, all right? Now, the reason for that is very simple. YouTube will always show the videos to the hardcore fans of that niche first. If they have already seen the video multiple times, they don't have any reason for clicking on your video, except if it follows a different angle. Now, how does a perfect video topic look like? A perfect topic, resonates with your audience. So ask yourself, do they even want to watch this? Some topics sound super interesting, but are super boring. Make sure your topic is not boring. Your topic has to be posted on time, especially if it's a trend. You have to repeat what has done well in the past. I'll share more on that in a bit. You have to leverage negativity because humans just respond way better to negative things. If you look at all of these, news headlines, all negative, all right, because humans respond better to that. Now, we have something I call the topic transfer method, and this is by far the most powerful way to choose video topics. Essentially, what you do is you find winning video topics in other niches and you move them over to your niche. This can work insanely well if this is done correctly. Here, just as an example, here, why you wouldn't last 24 hours in medieval times, 2.7 million views. Then the copy, why you wouldn't last 24 hours in Stone Age, 350,000 views. Exact same thing here. This guy did it for cats and this one did it for dogs. Both outlier channels for outlier videos on their channels, all right? Now, this is exactly what we did with Scott, who went from getting literally 50 to 100 views a video and almost giving up on his channel to like $5,000 months within like a week, as we can see exactly here. All right. His highest day in the first month monetized was even $450, which is very, very strong. Now, doubling down on what works is extremely important and most people don't do it. Once you find something that works and actually gets views, why would you want to reinvent the wheel? Double down on that topic until it does not work anymore. All right. If you have something that works, do 80% of what works and 20% test new stuff. This has worked extremely well with Andre, who went from just being monetized to $31,000 in one single month in just 4 months. And he has been doing this for month and month and month and month after that, after February, right? The reason why he has been able to do that is because we build long-form, or not long-form, but long-term channels. We also long-form channels, but long-term channels, right? Now, if you want to build a long-term channel as well, check out the first link in the video description. You know where to book your call and where to find me, all right? Then we actually need to go ahead and create the content, which would be the next thing. So for content creation, you actually have 3 options. You can either do it yourself, you can do the hybrid method, or you can also fully outsource it. Now, each of these has advantages and disadvantages. If you do it yourself, you basically have no cost. 100% profit margin, you learn new skills, and you have full control over your content. The disadvantages are this is not very scalable, it's extremely time consuming, learning takes a bunch of time, and without you, you don't make any money. Okay? Then we have the hybrid method. This is actually how a bunch of our students start out. The advantages are you have low cost, you do what you enjoy, and you have more control. The disadvantages are it's only partially scalable because you still have to do some stuff. It's time consuming. Some capital is required to pay the freelancers, and without you, no income because you still do some kind of process or part of the content creation. Okay. Then we have fully outsourcing. Many students just start with this and then they head over to this. Here, you need around about $300 to $500 a month. The advantages are it is not very time consuming. It is extremely scalable. You still have over 80% profit margin. You have time freedom. You work with experienced freelancers. And, without you, there's still an income because the team actually goes ahead and creates the video for you. The disadvantages are just that it requires some initial capital. Now, where do you find these people? Thumbnail designer, you can find them on X, Fiverr, Upwork, YTJobs, and onlinejobs.ph. Scriptwriter, Upwork, YTJobs, onlinejobs.ph, or even here on, you can use AI. We use a bunch of AI to write our scripts these days, and I would recommend you guys to do that too. Voiceover artist, either Fiverr or ElevenLabs or even GenAI Pro. Most of you guys know about that. Then video editor, you can find them on Upwork. Upwork, I usually find the kind of the best ones for medium price or a cheaper price. X, very, very, very good video editors, but higher cost. YTJobs, and then onlinejobs.ph, and then a channel manager. Now, most of you guys do not need a channel manager. You only need a channel manager if you have more than 2-3 channels. All right. You can find them between your family. All right. You can find them on Upwork. You can find them between your freelancers. This is what I like the most. You just need to make sure that the channel manager is accountable. All right. Okay. Accountable. You can find them on YTJobs or on onlinejobs.ph. So now you guys know exactly where to hire freelancers and what kind of options you have when it comes to content creation. Next thing is actually posting videos. Now, I follow this exact process with every single niche I get into to avoid spending money on videos that will never work. So the first thing we do is we do niche research. All right. So first thing, step one, we always start there. Then we need to choose a YouTube account, either a new account, a personal account, a aged account, or a pre-monetized account. A new account is an account that you brand new start. All right, you can go ahead and create a new account now. A personal account is a YouTube account that you use to watch this video here, just as an example. Those are the most powerful accounts. Then aged accounts. These are just very old accounts from 2006 to 2009, or pre-monetized accounts, which are already monetized accounts. I would not recommend them for building long-term channels. What would I recommend? I'd firstly look at these ones, then these ones, and then these ones. All right. Then you need 10 to 15 video topics. Now, you don't need random video topics. You actually need good video topics. So I need you to go back in this video and make sure that you completely understand how to pick good video topics. That is the most important thing. All right. Now, once you have your video topics, you're going to write the script with any kind of AI. That's completely up to you. You can use ChatGPT, you can use Claude, you can use Gemini, you can use whatever you want to. The voiceover, you're going to use ElevenLabs or GenAI Pro or anything. All right. For the editor, you're going to pay him between $15 and $30. All right. Then for the thumbnail, you can use a freelancer or you can also do it yourself. A thumbnail should not cost you more than like $10 should be enough for a good thumbnail. All right. Now, your video length needs to be longer than 1.5 times longer than the competitor video. Why? Because YouTube will always reward the person that keeps someone on YouTube for the longest period of time. So that's why we always want to create longer videos than our competitors. So we have a competitive advantage over them. For the thumbnail and the title, we always want to use something that has worked in the past. So if we are, just as an example, going into this exact niche right here, then we're actually going to do our thumbnails and our titles very similar in the style as this channel is doing it here. We do not need to reinvent the wheel. Okay. Now, once we have that done, then we actually get into the posting stage. So we post, skip, post, skip, post, post, skip, post. Sounds very funny, but we want to be inconsistent with our posting to show YouTube, hey, there's a human behind the account, all right? Now, one of two things is going to happen. Either the channel is actually going to blow up, like here. That's the time where we're only going to post, where we're going to continue to post. We are not going to post more than 15 videos. If, nothing happens after 15 videos, you do not post, you do not continue to post. All right. No matter how much you like the niche, how much you like the videos, you do not continue to post. All right. Because then the channel most probably is going to fail. Normally you see in the first 15 videos if a channel is going to win or if a channel is going to fail. Now, the reasons why a channel might fail is because of the niche, the video topics, the packaging, the video length, or maybe it's a bad channel. If you're not getting any impressions, you delete these videos from YouTube and you post them to a different YouTube channel. If they're still not getting any impressions, then it's probably one of these right here, okay? Now, in case of a channel failing, you go ahead and you restart this exact process. You start it at research again, and you go through this process again and again and again and again until you find something that works. Promise you will find something. If you do this, you will find something. Now, next up, this is, making money with YouTube. Firstly, like many of you guys will probably use the YouTube partnership program. This is the easiest way to monetize your videos where YouTube pays you directly for the views you get. Now, for that, you need 1,000 subscribers and you need 4,000 hours of watch time. Now, I know that 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time does sound like a lot, but the people we work with get to that point on average in 3 to 6 weeks. And we just had someone doing it again yesterday. All right, let me show you. Where is it? Somewhere here. Here, we just crossed the magic number of 1,000 subscribers. Could not be happier. All right. If you're interested in getting the exact same results, check out the first link in the video description. Okay, book your call with me. Then, how much money can you actually earn from YouTube? So we have a CPM. So that's a cost per 1,000 views. How much advertisers pay for every 1,000 views or impressions on their ad? Then, RPM, revenue per 1,000 views. That's how much you actually earn per 1,000 views that your video gets. Okay. Now, with a $5 RPM, with 1,000 views, you make $5. 10,000 views, $50. 100,000 views, $500. A million views, $5,000. 10 million views, $50,000. Now, most of you guys would be happy with $5,000 a month. Now, just quickly ask the question to yourself. How difficult can it be to get 1 million views on your videos on topics that people are already interested in, but they can't find them anywhere on YouTube? Not that difficult, right? Then, how to increase your RPM? So you can always increase your RPM by like 30% or something. You can turn on alcohol and gambling ads, create longer videos than 15 minutes. This one is massive. Place ads every 10 seconds using NextLev. This is a game changer, all right? Now, I hope you guys know exactly what to do now. And if you need any help doing this as well, just like this student who he scaled up to $24,000 in one single month, or this one monetized in 2 weeks, here another one completely blowing up, here 171 euro a day, here doing one 18,000, then here, just as an example, 10K. Like, guys, check out the first link in the video description, book a call with me if you need help, and we will figure it out and we will scale you up together. Now, with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video.